Welcome to Oyate Today. Oyate in Lakota means people. Brought to you by Native Sun News Today. Hi, welcome to Oyate Today. I'm your host, Richie Richards. Oyate Today is produced by Tim and Jackie Gallego. Tim is an enrolled member of the Oglala Sioux tribe. Our guests tonight are Kahomy Souksavath and Staci Eagle Elk, both program managers for Lakota Circles of Hope here in Rapid City. Thank you both for being here tonight. And I really appreciate you taking the time and coming and visiting with us and the wonderful work that you're doing. So once again, thank you. Kahomy, if you could tell us a little bit about yourself. We'll get into the program and the great things you're doing, but first let's just learn a little bit about both of you. But Kahomy, you can tell us a little bit about yourself, please.
Okay, my name is Kahomy Souksavath, and I'm one of the program managers for Lakota Circles of Hope. My family is from Cheyenne River, and my dad is from Laos. And one
Laos?
of the yeah.
Oh, cool.
Laos.
Awesome. Yeah.
I'm only half.
Yeah.
But one of the main reasons why I became a part of this program is because it teaches a lot of the Lakota values to our children, so they have a strong background. And I already do that with my nieces and nephews and my own children, so I just thought it was perfect to give them that Lakota identity so they can grow up and be strong and
So why not do what you're doing at home at work and just make it
might
one,
as well.
right?
Yeah.
Staci, tell us a little bit about yourself, please.
Well, my name is Staci Eagle Elk. I'm actually a Wajaji. I've been in South Dakota and married into the Sichangu tribe for about 30 years. Mm-hmm. No longer married, but I do have Lakota children. I've done a lot of different things in my life, but what's really important to me is to do something that makes a difference. I now have grandchildren, and so this for me was a way that I can continue to provide those teachings and those lessons to other children and for my grandchildren.
And carry on your own values then.
Yes.
Cool, that's awesome. Tell us a little bit, Staci, if you could, tell us a little bit about the history of the Lakota Circles of Hope. And I guess I understand it's been around for 11 years now. So please tell us a little bit about it.
So about 11 years ago, maybe a little bit longer, we have these epidemics of suicide and whatnot in our tribal communities. And a group of Lakota elders and educators came together and wanted to find a way to, instead of reacting, but to create a prevention. How can we help our kids and our youth? So they came together and they started writing this curriculum originally for middle school. And when the elders looked at it, they said, no, we have to start a lot younger. So the curriculum was written by Lakota elders and educators for 2nd through 8th graders.
Mm-hmm. And so who was part of that original cohort then? Who kind of came up with this?
Oh my goodness. That's a difficult question for me.
But it was local then? It was all
It was
local,
local, yeah. I know that Albert Whitehat Sr. was instrumental in helping with language development, and I honestly can't remember everybody that was on that original committee.
Yeah, Albert Whitehat's been very active, so that's awesome. I'm glad that he was involved in this. Kahomy, what grades I know that you had mentioned 2nd through 8th grade, but what grades is this program, what grades does this program cover, and who's this for?
So yeah, like she said, the whole program wanted to start younger, so I think they agreed on starting at 2nd grade and going through 8th grade. I think originally it was 2nd through 5th grade, and then they wanted to incorporate a middle school program. So, and we have a lot of workbooks and each lesson is age appropriate and grade appropriate for them.
And you have a couple of examples of those.
So this is an example of the 3rd grade workbook that we have, and then so each lesson has an activity that they do after, and then here's an example of the 8th grade workbook.
Oh, cool. I just wanted to get a good...
Yeah.
That says winter count journal. Is that part of what they're learning then? Activities like that? That's kind of traditional, cultural?
Yep, so after they're done with the entire workbook, you know how a winter count goes through the whole year of events, and then this is kind of similar to that, where they can look back at where they started at the first lesson all the way to the 10th lesson.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Staci, what are some of the goals? Well, what is your mission statement, first of all? And then we'll talk about some of the goals of the program.
So earlier in June, our advisory committee came together because we didn't have a formal mission statement or vision statement, and we came together as a group and we developed new ones. So I'm going to read here a little bit, but the mission statement of Lakota Circles of Hope is to empower students to have a safe and healthy lifestyle using Lakota values. And then our vision statement is to enhance the awareness and appreciation of Lakota values and traditions to live a healthy life and be a good relative.
That's very short, very simple, very poignant, and right to the point then. That's awesome. What role does culture and tradition play in all of this, and why is that important? Why is it important to bring these Lakota value systems, Lakota morals into a student's life at the second grade level up to 8th grade, I guess?
So Lakota language and culture revitalization is really important, and our program aims to incorporate them into the lessons as much as we can, especially the language aspect of it. So each lesson contains vocabulary of the language and a Lakota story, that, a traditional story that they learn and then again do the activity with.
Do you have an example of that, or is there an example that you can share with us? As far as what teaches a good, valuable lesson and things like that?
Yeah, so they learn through these stories the bravery, generosity, respect, and all of this is that in hopes that they have that in their identity and their foundation, so whenever they get older and they're faced with issues, they'll have that to kind of think of to steer them towards making the right decisions and right choices. So,
Staci, from what I understand, then this program is really about prevention through identity and self-identity and how they identify themselves then. So from your perspective, why is that important?
Well, we believe that having a strong identity, knowing where you come from, knowing your ancestors and your relatives, helps you to create a strong foundation and helps you to make good decisions. What did my relatives want for me? What did my ancestors pray for me? We always talk about praying for 7 generations ahead. And so what did they pray for? And through that identity, it gives you confidence and it gives you the strength, the bravery, the courage to be able to resist peer pressure, to be a good relative. What does that mean? And so those are some of the lessons that they learn.
And Kahomy, as a parent then and of children, you have young children, I assume. What are some of the challenges that you see that they're dealing with when it comes to identity and that self-identification in schools then, and maybe in relation to other students and how they react versus, say, your own children or children that are, pretty secure in their identity?
I think I see them being more confident and have a higher self-esteem, so they're not, like she said, more to get into peer pressure of, the different drugs and alcohol, and especially bullying. Bullying is a big thing within the schools, and fortunately my children are still really small, so we haven't really dealt with that yet. But
Good.
I'm hoping to teach them, their Lakota identity, so that they have that strong background and they know that, that we just have a really beautiful culture and language.
Mm-hmm. Bullying these days is so much different than bullying in my days. It's just with social media and online activities and things like that. It's just a whole another round that I'm not, really that familiar with. But Staci, tell me a little bit more about this training program then. Who would you encourage to come and learn this and kind of give me the gist of how this works then? How do people bring this program into their schools?
So we have schools that become interested or individuals who become interested in this curriculum, and they usually take it back to their schools or their program. They can then reach out to us and we work with them and develop, we work within their budget to do that. What we do is we go into the schools or the organization and we train the implementers. So it's a call to train the trainer program. It's not that they become a trainer, it's that they can then go implement the curriculum as it was intended. We do have fidelity This curriculum incorporates the state as well as the Oyate Shokoin Essential Understanding Standards, which are required by the state. So we go in, we spend 2 days with the staff, whether it be 2 people, whether it be 20 or 50. You know, we want to get as many people trained, as many instructors, administrators, what have you, trained in this program. So we go through the curriculum. We take about 2 days to do that, sometimes longer if there's a larger group. We go through each and every aspect of the curriculum. We also provide, we do have a lot of, I'm not going to say a lot, we have some non-native implementers who may not be familiar with the culture, who may not be familiar with the language. So we provide technical assistance insofar as we have a website that they can access. It is restricted to those that have purchased our curriculum.
Sure.
So they can go on, they can hear the recordings and learn the pronunciation of Lakota words that are used within that lesson. So it's broken down by lesson. We then, after we get everybody familiar with that and really comfortable with that, we spend about half a day doing teach backs. So we have them pick a lesson from whatever grade they're going to be teaching, and they can pick whichever lesson they want. And then they teach that back to the whole group, and it really helps to get them familiar. I've had some people ask, is this only for Lakota children?
You know, let's stop right there, because I want to learn more about this, but also this is a good point here. So let's take a quick break and we'll learn a little bit more and finish your thought there.
Okay.
We'll be back after a short break.
Closed captioning for Oyate Today is brought to you by Black Hills Energy.
Native Sun News has been voted the best weekly newspaper in its class for 2015 by the South Dakota and North Dakota Newspaper Associations. You can find a copy of the Native Sun News at many businesses and vending machines in Rapid City and the surrounding area, and on all 9 reservations. We publish every Wednesday, so advertisers and subscribers can reach our diverse readership by calling 605-721-1266. The Native Sun News covers the other side of the story.
You can't predict life's ups and downs. You just give it all you've got to stay on top. But it's easier with a partner like Security First Bank. Since 1898, we've been riding with you through the country's biggest ups and downs. And this is where we'll stay. Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on. Member FDIC.
I got a crick in my neck, limp in my step, cramping in my muscles every time I try to flex. Better than ones get on. That I could do this was remember you. You know I usually say no, but if you throw me love, I'll throw you some more.
Hi, welcome back to Oyate Today. Once again, our guests tonight are from Lakota Circles of Hope here in Rapid City. Staci and Kahomy, thank you so much for being here and for the wonderful work that you're both doing, and really a good program. Before the commercial break, we were talking about the benefit or bringing this program into schools and how that program works once it's there, and the benefit for non-native students and teachers. So let's continue with that, please.
So one of our goals at Lakota Circles of Hope is to, actually a couple of our goals, we want our children to feel comfortable and welcome in their school. We want them to feel that that is a safe place to go. So oftentimes, as I was starting to say, have teachers say, oh, is this just for Lakota children? Lakota values are, and I always tell them, you know, these are basic values for human beings, you know, regardless of race. So no, it's not Lakota centric. These are the values that Lakota people practice, you know, and so we want to reinforce that. And it's just, they're good, you know, being kind to one another, being humble, being respectful to one another, you know, and hopefully through these values that we're teaching and reinforcing, the children will learn to, you know, how to not bully, how to pick a good friend, how to tell when someone's your friend, and to make good choices and learn to communicate.
And you had mentioned a safe place, and from what I understand, there's a part of this program is identifying a safe person, and that somebody that a child can identify as a safe person. Can you tell me about what that is and how that plays a role in this program?
So one of the lessons teaches the student how to pick or identify a safe person, or someone trusting as an adult, you know, an auntie and uncle, a teacher, or somebody that they can go to anytime they need, you know, to talk, or, you know, just someone comfortable that they can lean on whenever they are feeling, because even second graders need that too. I mean, everyone needs that, but.
So is it a matter of them going up and asking their Uncle Richie if they can be their safe person then, and then they kind of make this, I guess,
Just connection.
invisible contract or this connection?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's really good. That's a good part of the program. You had talked about the benefit to non-natives, and Kahomy, if you could talk about how this program benefits a non-native community, just like a Lakota community or a Native American community. You know, as far as the values go, they're very humanistic values. They go across the board, across the ages, across the sexes, and all of that. How does that benefit South Dakota then to have a program like this?
Okay, so just like Staci said, the Lakota values aren't Lakota-centric. They, you know, are human values of just respecting one another, and, you know, having the courage to, you know, be able to build bridges with other cultures, regardless of religion or race or, you know, ethnicities. And Lakota, non-native students really benefit because they have a greater appreciation of their peers, of their Lakota student or classmates, and so, you know, that helps build the bridges of, you know, the race issues that we have starting at a younger age, which I think is where it starts, because, you know, racism issues start their learned behavior.
Definitely. If there's one thing, Kahomy, that a student can walk away from, if there was one thing that they got out of this program, what would you hope that would be then, that they walked away with from this program that you put in schools?
The one thing I would want them to hopefully walk away with is just having a better understanding of themselves, having a good self-esteem, and you know, having that Lakota identity instilled with them, because it really, once you get older, and, you know, the older you get, you're faced with all these challenges and all these issues, and it's really stressful, but when you can fall back and remember, you know, I'm a Lakota person, or I have these values, you know, in me, and I can remember that. So I hope the
Lakota
students,
should be your foundation then?
Yes.
That's awesome. Staci, can you tell me some of the schools? I know you probably can't name every single school that this program has been to, but just give me some examples of where this program is found currently or in the past. Or
So some of the reservations and some of the schools that we're on, we're currently at Wakpala, up at Standing Rock. So that's probably at the moment our farthest school. We also are at Eagle Butte. We are and have been very involved at St. Joe's, a boarding school over in Chamberlain, South Dakota. OLL, Our Lady of Lourdes, down at Porcupine. Red Cloud Indian School. This curriculum actually started in Rosebud. It was piloted there and implemented there. So we're working with them to try to get back in. Just recently, we partnered with RAI and the
Rural America Initiatives.
Rural America Initiatives,
Sure.
and the Oyate program. So we are here in Rapid City at the middle schools.
Oh, that's awesome.
Our curriculum is.
That's awesome. And it sounds like you have a lot of reservation-based schools or tribal schools or Native American schools, I guess. But, I mean, would there be a benefit of bringing it into other schools in urban areas then? I mean,
Absolutely. I think one of the things that, one of the goals that we have for this program is to give an appreciation. You know, race relations have been a huge issue across the state, and particularly in Rapid City. And so whether, you know, we were talking about the benefit, you know, and what we hope. And I think for myself, my hope is that non-natives just gain a new appreciation for Lakota culture, you know, and understanding, you know, and a respect for that. So I think absolutely, you know, having any school, regardless of their native population, to be part of that.
Every student has the right to self-identify with their Lakota culture. So yeah, let's take a quick break. We'll be back after a couple minutes.
I like to eat apples and bananas. I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Being connected to him with the earth.
Probably the pride of being Lakota. Look around you and look at your culture. Look at the people who care about you. There is hope. There is always hope. There will always be hope.
Suicide isn't the Lakota way. If someone you know needs help, please call 867-HOPE, a public service message from the Lakota Voice Project.
Hi, welcome back to Oyate Today. Once again, our guests tonight are Kahomy and Staci, both of Lakota Circles of Hope here in Rapid City, and thank you so much for being here. It's been an honor and a pleasure to have you on our show. I understand that there's a Dakota version of this program as well. Can you tell me about that and where you're at with that as far as implementing it and putting in other areas?
So we have a whole Dakota curriculum that we haven't even used yet. So my main goal is to get Dakota schools, mainly East River is where they're at. So I've been working with like the Sistan Oyate and recently the Marty Indian School, and I'm just trying to break more, you know, just to utilize it and everything, because we've had it since the beginning. And
Had what since the beginning?
the Dakota curriculum.
Oh, you've had it for a long time. You're just now going to be putting it in place. So it's basically taking the same lessons,
Same thing.
putting them into the Dakota dialect and putting them in the schools out there.
Because a lot of the stories are similar, same stories. It's just the dialect that's different. So
Just kind of popped up in my head, but aside from schools, who else could benefit from a program like this? I don't know who to ask, but maybe Staci, you can answer that. Who else might benefit from a program like this?
Well, like I mentioned, we are working with Rural America Initiatives, and so they have an after-school program. We also have worked slightly, or beginning to work with a youth facility at Eagle Butte. I went up and taught a lesson a couple of weeks ago, and that was really awesome. So
Sure.
I think, you know, traditionally we've always worked with schools, and I think that we need to think outside the box and, you know, just think about our youth, no matter what.
It's a great program,
whether
definitely.
it's an after-school program, whether it's a treatment facility, what have you.
Some of our businesses and corporations could probably use it as well. What is the Celebration of Dreams?
So Celebration of Dreams is exactly what it says. At the end of the 5th grade lessons, the 10th lessons, the 5th graders plan a whole event, and they can invite their person or, you know, their parents, grandparents, aunties, uncles, whoever they want, and they present, they work on pretty much what they want to be when they grow up, and they make a poster and they present it, and what they work on is what they want to do or what they want to be, and how they can achieve that goal, and what the community can do to help them achieve that goal. And it's really fun. I think they really enjoy it. We come in and we bring a cake, we bring them t-shirts and gift bags, and yeah, they really enjoy it.
So it's really a matter of them celebrating. Is it completing the program then, or
Completing the
benefiting from the
program.
program?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
And we're currently in the works of creating a similar celebration for the 8th graders also right now, because they don't have one.
Sure. And from what I understand, they're organizing it themselves then, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, the students are.
Yep, they planned the whole event themselves.
That's pretty awesome. Where do we go to learn more about this program? Who do we visit? Is there an office, the website, social media, phone number we can kind of send people to or traffic to? Because we have a lot of educators, a lot of non-native educators that watch our program, so I really want them to be able to, you know, make contact with you guys and this wonderful program.
Absolutely. We actually have a Facebook, Lakota Circles of Hope Facebook, so you can always go there and find out information. And we try to keep, you know, like some of our activities, we try to post them. We have a website. It's lakotacirclesofhope.org. You can go there. If you want more information on that website, there's a page where you can go in and put your name and, you know, how many students you're working with, what kind of organization you are. It comes to us, and then we can get back in touch with you. Those are great. We also have some videos on our website which tell a little bit more about the program and whatnot. So yeah, and then you can also call us. You know, we're in the office. We have voicemail if we're not there. That number is 605-348-6086.
Sure. And where is your office located for those of us that are a little behind in websites and social media and stuff?
So we're located at Catholic Social Services. We are actually a program of Catholic Social Services. So we are located in that building at 529 Kansas City Street. It's on the corner of Kansas City and 6th.
Should we call and make an appointment with you then, or just show up randomly, or how does that work?
However that would work for you. It would be great if you could call and make an appointment to make sure that we're not filming Oyate today.
Ah, cool. Yeah, we definitely want to make sure you're there. Kahomy, I have one last question for you then. I mean, as far as a youth benefiting from this, and in your own children, how would you hope that they benefit from this? I mean, other than just self-identifying, I mean, what's the goal for you being in this program?
You know, like I said before, I try to teach everything I can to my children and like my nieces and nephews, and just knowing how beautiful our culture is and how beautiful our Lakota language is, and you know, the different oral stories that we have. And
you're awesome. Thank you so
you.
much. Staci, you're awesome as well. Thank you for the program. I want to thank our producers. I want to thank our sponsors. I want to thank Prairie Edge for hosting our show tonight, and I want to thank you for making Oyate Today a part of your night.
You've been watching Oyate Today, brought to you by Native Sun News Today.